I was a little bit nervous about it. Like, hey, how's this going to work out? I did not grow up like that. I doubt if I would have ever went into a business with my mom or anything
Right,
like
sure,
that.
right.
And so the idea had never really, when I started the company, I wasn't thinking, oh, family business, family legacy.
Change is inevitable. Like every success happens because you changed something and you it was a fear that was within you.
Motivation only lasts for a short amount of time, but discipline is what carries you forward.
I can't do this on my own, period.
Are you looking at your business in terms of emotion, or are you looking at your business in terms of what's practical?
I still believe that America is the best country in the world. Where can kid of immigrants with no education become a physician?
This is Small Business Celebration, where we're celebrating small businesses for big breakthroughs.
Welcome to another fantastic episode here on Small Business Celebration. We're going to be talking about shiny object syndrome. We're also going to be talking about steady revenue flow over time versus the quick revenue gains. And to help us with that, and we're also going to be playing the Visioneer game, which has been a lot of fun. And we've added a little bit of a little twist to it this time around so that you too can play along. And our guest this week is Alfred Valenzuela, the owner of Executive Copier Solutions. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And for Visioneers who don't know who you are and what is it that you do?
My name is Alfred Valenzuela. I'm from Executive Copiers. I'm the owner operator. We sell copiers. We sell them, we rent them, we lease them. We handle new, we handle refurbished. We do a lot of work with nonprofits, small businesses, companies that can't afford or have bad credit or just have no means of getting a machine, a business class machine that's a little bit more pricey. So we like helping out the smaller guy. So,
and if it looks like that we're here in amongst the storeroom of copiers and whatnot, it's kind of because we are. Because that's the great thing about this place is you've got everything immediately on hand. The customer can just walk in and you've got what they need.
if they're my customer, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, there's different model machines, and the way copier companies tend to make them is this model machine, specific brand, specific model, takes a specific type of toner,
Right.
fuser, transfer, everything is specific to that model. So it's in order to keep everything for every brand of copier, you need a gigantic warehouse.
It's sort of like you can't put a Ford alternator in a Chevy.
You can't, no.
The first thing you sold wasn't a copier.
I had always liked doing sales. My earliest recollection of any type of sales was Jogathon.
Really?
Yes, when I was in the 6th grade, or actually 5th grade.
Yeah.
You know, they had prizes. And
Sure.
so they had a $50, actually a bike, a scooter, and then a $50 card,
No
gift
way.
card to win. And so I went door to door, and I was doing, getting people to pledge money for the Jogathon, and
Right.
ended up getting 3rd place.
Wow.
And so I was amazed at how far $50 did not get me at the toy store. So next year I tried a little harder, and I ended up getting 2nd place with a scooter.
Right.
And I bent that pretty fast. But I just enjoyed going door to door, and I pretty much put out my consciousness. And then my friend came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm doing this job where I'm going door to door. I think you'd be good at it." So I went and tried it, and I'd say within a couple of years we were kind of breaking the record.
This was what you were selling for the California.
This is when I was selling for the California.
Yeah.
Yes, me and this other kid that was there. We sold so much that they had to change the commission structure because it was a little bit more than they were willing to pay us. So, yeah. And
A
then,
victim of your own success.
yes,
What possessed you to leave a good sales job and open your own business?
So one gentleman I met named Michael Jimenez
Right.
owned Executive Business Services.
Okay.
He said it was the first time in 35 years anybody called him.
Sure.
Invited him to breakfast.
Okay.
So we went and had breakfast, and I just had a good time. He's an older gentleman looking to someday retire.
Right.
And that time or the next time we met, he said, "Hey, maybe you'll buy my business when I retire," which ended up happening a little sooner than I thought.
Right.
So I met him in I won't say like May or March or so, and he was willing to sell in September.
Wow.
Didn't have quite as much money as he was looking for, but he liked me enough where we were willing to work it out. So
There's a lot of business owners who go down to the big box stores and they buy a printer for their home office. And then their business grows. And they buy a bigger multi-function copier printer. At what point does it start making sense for the business owner to say, you know what I'm getting at the big box store is insufficient. I need somebody to sell me a proper copier and help me service this thing. Where is that line?
There is a difference between what you're going to buy at Office Depot or at online, somewhere like that. Those machines are designed for, in my opinion, for a lower volume.
Okay.
The biggest difference is the way they price the toner on the HPs and such. They're very expensive.
But that's part of their business model. They'll
is
give
part of
away the printer for $100 and then charge you $100 for the ink.
Liquid gold, right? So,
Sure, right.
But having said that, I do believe that there's a place for everything. You know, they obviously they have a huge portion of the market. They're bigger than any copier company, I can tell you that much.
Right.
You know, I always tell customers, because I get a lot of people come to me and ask me, you know, I need a machine for my house. I need something small for my kid to do his college homework on, print out stuff. And so I always tell them, okay, if that's what you're doing, then you're probably better off going to Home Depot, because I don't need to sell you a $1,500 small little guy like that, because that's how much even these little guys cost.
Sure,
because these are business class machines.
But they're designed for higher volume.
The biggest difference is comes where we said a little while ago that they're willing to give them away.
Right.
And the reason they're willing to give them away is because they're not really designed to be maintained, to be fixed, to keep going. They want it to go a certain amount of time, and then you just like, oh, it starts having problems due to wear and tear, what have you, and now get rid of it. We can't. It costs more to fix it than it would to buy another one. So just get rid of it, buy another one. So I would say when people have a small business, it's not bad to start off with something small like that, and to, but once you start getting, everything comes with volume. Once you start doing some decent volume.
What is decent volume?
I would say anything over 1,000 prints.
1,000 prints a month?
Yeah, that'd be 2 reams of paper.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
a month. Okay,
it's a good way to gauge it.
Okay,
so if you're having to buy a case of paper once a month, then it's definitely a point in your business where you probably should talk to somebody like me, because now with the volume comes all the problems. It comes the paper dust, wear and tear. More paper is going through it, so more chances for the machine to have a problem.
It keeps jamming.
Keeps jamming. At that point, you're going to want someone to lean on, someone to maintain your machine. So that's where we come in. So I always tell people, you don't fix your own AC, you don't fix your own IT, you don't fix your own phone systems, don't fix your own copier, because that's what we do. So.
And if you need a new home office to go with your new copier that you're getting here from Alfred, might I suggest that you talk to Mike Saba, a Zillow Premier Agent with Watson Realty, born and raised and never left Bakersfield. Give Mike Saba a call at 661-203-8406 or reach him at mikesaba1@icloud.com today. Mike Saba is also the sponsor of our Visioneer question. And if you've got a thought, you've got an idea, something you'd like to learn about here on Small Business Celebration, reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram and let us know. Your question could appear here on Small Business Celebration, just like our Visioneer Anthony, who asked, our business is growing. However, we've got so many things going on that we're finding it challenging to stay on track and be productive in our daily activities. What do you do that works?
I make a lot of lists.
Okay, sure, right.
Especially in a little bit older age.
Right.
You don't remember, your brain doesn't work like it used to. So
Sure.
If I'm not writing things down and I'm not making lists and I'm not delegating authority, then I'm trying to do it all by myself and it's a clutter.
How do you prioritize amongst all those things on all those lists? How do you prioritize what's important?
So if someone's screaming and, hey, I need it right now, then I'll make you go first. But
sure, right.
There's a hierarchy of everything. Is it bringing you money? Is it going to make you money today?
Okay.
Is it something that can be taken care of tomorrow versus today? So, it just kind of have a way of prioritizing itself.
How do you decide what to delegate and what not to?
A certain type personality, small business owners will try to handle things all on their own. And I think I was very much like that. And it just kind of keeps getting in the way. And so I'm a salesman by trade, and I need to be okay with delegating authority. And so you just need to make sure you have people around you that are can handle it, are good. And so I go about delegating things in a way that I feel like they can handle it. I feel like they can take it and run with it. I try not to give them too much. I do try to take off some stuff off my plate, and there are still a lot of things I have to do, you know, and bank stuff and contract stuff. And the more and more I bring people into my circle and of trust, and more I give people things to do, it just takes that weight off of me, and it's very helpful for growth.
Your background is sales. You know how to sell. How do you find somebody who can sell?
Well, I mean, it's hard to gauge somebody based off of first appearances, because people tend to tell you what they want you to hear.
Right.
And so I have a saying. I know it's not a clever saying, or it's not it's, you know, people have heard it over and over, but the proof's in the pudding.
Right.
I like that saying, because
if they can't close, you can't keep
I
them.
give them, I mean, and I don't need them to close. I personally never thought of myself as a great closer. Like, I'm not I don't consider myself a proficient salesman per se, but I'm really good at the due diligence. I'm really good at following the program and working hard. So I need somebody that's going to do that as well. And one of the biggest things I'm looking for when I hire somebody is confidence. And if that person confidence is something that's is misconstrued to me. You know, some people come out with their swagger, and they, oh, I know how to sell. I can sell. You meet those type of people all the time.
Right.
I need someone who has confidence enough that when things aren't going well, that they can keep going and believe in the program, and believe in the structure, and everything that I'm telling them is true, and that things will turn around if they keep doing it.
And that brings us to the Visioneer Game. Now, if you're not familiar with the way the Visioneer Game works, I have a random word generator here on my phone. I have no idea what the word that's going to be generated is, and more importantly, neither does our guest. And our guest has to go through and take each one of 3 words and somehow take that word and associate it with our business. Now, you Visioneers at home, you too can also play along in the Visioneer Game. You can pick any one of the 3 words that Alfred's going to get here, and simply in the comment section below, go ahead and take that word and associate it with your business, and make sure you leave the name of your business in the comment. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, Alfred's a little timid, but I think you'll pass through just fine. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, our first word is compound.
Compound.
Compound. I thought I'd give you an easy one to start.
Compound.
All right, let's
Don't compound your issues with your copier by using cheap toner.
There it is. Very good. Well done, you. Very good. You got the first word out of the gate. All right. See, even the hard ones are easy. Okay. Our next word is the word week, as in the one that has 7 days in it.
We're open 5 days a week. 8 to 5. Give us a call.
That was an easy way out, but well done. We'll give it to you nonetheless. Okay. Okay, and our third word is, measure.
We have ways of measuring how much you're spending on your current HP toners.
Okay.
Your copiers. You know, we do analyses that will show you how much your toner you're spending, using, how much money you're spending, and so those tend to work out pretty well.
You know what? You get better with age. Well done on number 3. Very good. But standing up to good measure, you're the king of the chamber events. I mean, you're involved not only in the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, but the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the North of the River Chamber of Commerce. How many chambers do you belong to?
I'm in about 4 or 5, but I didn't even realize there was 30 of them. Yeah, every outskirt town, from Taft to Delano, Lamont, Wasco, they all have a chamber.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm president of the NOR chamber, which is the north of the river.
Okay.
You know, everything north of the river, which would be Oildale, Rosedale, Fruitvale, Norris, River Lakes.
Right.
I like the Greater Bakersfield Chamber, as well as I've been with the Hispanic Chamber for, 10 years or so. So what I like about all the different chambers is that there's always a different set of people for each chamber. I feel like if you're a small business and you're trying to, become more visible to the community, you're trying to get out there and, meet other companies, other small companies, because that's what the chamber is. It's their main goal is to help small businesses thrive. And so they provide resources, they provide the opportunity to network with other companies. I enjoy the people that are in the chamber as well as go to the chamber. So,
And you have also pushed your son into this.
Yeah. So
did he go kicking and screaming?
A little bit. So like I said, it is a family-owned business. My son just liked it from the beginning. I had him being like a junior tech. Yeah. Actually, I'm back up. First, I thought he'd be a good salesperson. At home, he's funny. Right. He talks a lot. He's fast. He's quick. He's witty. And so I thought it'd just translate over just easily, but it didn't. And so I remember trying to take him door to door, and I'm doing most of the talking. And so I told him, okay, this time I want you to go in, and I want you just to say your name and the name of the company, and we'll go from there, and I'll take over. So he said, okay. So I start to walk in, and I notice he's not with me. So I come back outside. I was like, hey, what's going on? And he's sitting there. He's doing this little number. He's just thinking, huffing and puffing and psyching himself up. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm getting ready. And I just looked at it. I was like, oh, God. So I go, all right, well, just come on. We'll go. We're going to figure something else out. So, I needed him to just get some practice talking to people. Right. And one of the places that I found that was very comforting was a B&I group. And it's a networking group. It's a group of 30 people, professionals, categories specific. There's a realtor, there's a mortgage guy, and basically they're your marketing crew. Right. They go off and they find people that they know and they talk to them about you, that type of thing. So joining that group actually changed my career. I was doing a lot of cold calling, referrals, stuff like that, but I didn't do a lot of networking. I didn't really understand that part of it. And so somebody walked up to me and said, hey, there's a B&I group. I never heard of it. And David Oxley, nice guy. He brought me in. He was the first one that brought me into a B&I group. And I just thought it was the greatest thing. And I enjoyed that group. I was there for a couple years. I thought it'd be a good place for him. And so I made him go into that group.
Made your son go into that group?
Yes, I made my son go into that group. And after the first year, I told him, hey, you did a year. You don't have to do it again. Right. I mean, I feel like we got all of everything that we're going to get out of that group. And he said, well, I'm going to be the president. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was going to be the president. They want to make me the president. The guy wants to step down. He wanted to know if I want to do it. I told him, yeah. I go, you're going to be the president. He said, yeah. I was like, okay, let's give that a try then. So, he's currently the president right now and running the groups. And man, just what a difference. I've had several people from that group come up to me just like amazed that from point A to point B that he's just a totally different person. So helped him come out of his shell. And so, it is hard to make yourself do things. It is hard to do things you don't like doing, but it's like anything else. You're never going to do it until you try. So, I'm very proud of him for that, for working to come out of his shell and now he's doing very well. So, that's kind of where we are now. So with
Sure. And that brings us to our next Visioneer question, which is brought to you by Mike Saba, a Zillow Premier Agent with Watson Realty, selling Bakersfield homes since 1992. Give Mike Saba a call at 661-203-8406 or reach him at MikeSaba1 at iCloud.com today. And remember, Visioneers, you can also submit a Visioneer question on our social media pages at LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, just like Wendy, who asks, we're looking at the difference between steady revenue flow over time and quick revenue gain from individual product sales. What strategy worked for you for balancing the two as you grew the business?
During COVID, we had our trials.
Right.
I just started the company not even a year before, and everything was going according to plan. And then we hit COVID, and I couldn't give a machine away to save my life.
Right.
Yeah, people were more concerned over toilet paper.
Right.
Tanks being on the street than buying a copier. And so I had like 8 or 9 deals scheduled for that April. I think it was 2020. And they all tanked. It was pretty wild. So honestly, one of the things that helped me through was the PPP loans. And so it became apparent that we were deficient in what we would call the steady stream of money.
Right.
We call it maintenance revenue.
Right.
And so maintenance revenue is what would pay our salaries and all the overhead, consumables, toner, if I'm not selling. Once COVID hit and it became apparent that I didn't have anything near what I needed maintenance revenue wise to sustain,
Right.
that we need to come up with a plan. So instead of just sit on the breaks that we were given, the PPP loans and the idle loans for the COVID, we invested it. And so we had to come up with a way to figure out how to grow during that period of time, which wasn't an easy thing. So when you buy a copier, you put it on a lease.
Right.
At the end of that lease, it goes somewhere to a warehouse, a leasing company, and companies like myself have opportunities to buy those from wholesale companies.
Right.
And so we were able to buy those. And so I was probably one of the first ones and I can say that because of the amount of machines I was getting. I bought like a batch of like 50 of them. And we were steadily refurbishing those and giving them to people. It's like, hey, you want a machine? You don't have to pay for this one. Just give me the maintenance revenue.
Nice.
So we probably grew about 5 times the size of what we were at the beginning.
Congratulations.
Yes, and so just during that period of time. So that is a business model, we don't really promote like we used to. We've moved into more of a sales, but I do have that same ability to give people those type of deals, and we generally save them for nonprofits. Nonprofits or small companies that kind of come to me like, hey, I need a copier. I'm too new. I can't get a lease. I can't afford it. So I have a machine here for you. So I'll take care of you. So
Right. You mentioned in the last segment that your sister comes and work with you. You just mentioned that your son works with you. Who in your family doesn't work with you?
I'll tell you who does it is my wife. I remember the first time the subject came up, and she she's gonna kill me for this. She said, "Hey, can I come work for you?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." It's kind of iffy about it. And I had just got through mentioning that I had to buy write a check for $800 worth of toner.
Right.
And right away she comes in and says, $800? Why did you have to spend so much on toner? Why are we writing down? Do you need that money? I was like, boom, right there. Right there.
That's why.
You're never coming to work for me because I can't be bossed around in my own shop. So yeah. So right now I've had numerous family members come through. I've had my niece. I've had 2 nieces. I've had my nephew. But right now my son is my go-to for marketing and for IT and for sales. Right. My daughter runs the shop, Daisy. She's doing a great job. Yeah, she's actually I'm very impressed with her. And and these guys, they started very young, early 20s, right out of high school. Right. I was a little bit nervous about it. Like, hey, how's this going to work out? I did not grow up like that. I doubt if I would have ever went into a business with my mom or anything like that. Right. And so the idea had never really, when I started the company, I wasn't thinking, family business, family legacy. My son expressed interest when we first started over there because he was working for like a grocery store. Right. And just wasn't happy. And so I was like, I bring you on and see what you'll think, whatever. And I didn't realize that he would gravitate over to it. And so when I got the opportunity to go on my own, it just seemed natural. And I was pleasantly surprised that me working with my family was an awesome thing. And obviously, not all family members are going to work out. That's probably one thing your viewers are probably screaming at. Never hire friends, never hire family.
Sure, right.
And I do agree with that. But like I said from the beginning, I agree with that to an extent. I think there's good and there's bad in everything. And so find some family members that obviously are going to do a good job. You can't have anybody take advantage or run all over you. But it's been fulfilling for me. And and I always tell them, if you guys weren't here at this point, I'd been gone a long time ago. Sure. Like I said, I could make a lot more money doing it myself, doing just straight sales. I was good at it. I knew how to do it. I knew how to make it work. And running a business was something I definitely didn't know how to make work. I always say I'm probably the worst business owner there is, but it's been a very rewarding time, and I couldn't imagine these last 5 years being different. So
it's no secret that right now there are a lot of business owners that are struggling. Yeah. Is the American dream dead?
I get why people can say that, because we are in California, and it is a little harder to have a small business in California.
Right.
I mean, any small business owner can attest to that. I still get bills from the every couple of weeks from the IRS, for unemployment, and they're taking money. I'm like, what's that again? Why are they taking $900 out on my bank account? But the American dream to me is just the ability to do it my way, to grow a business and to include the people I love, and to create a legacy, and to do it my way. I've worked for people, and I've worked for myself, and even though I make a lot less money than I did when I was a successful salesman at the other company, I sleep a lot better at night, and I'm a lot happier. So, and anybody who's thinking also that's maybe not a small business owner, and they're just a regular person, and they're thinking the American dream is dead, I tell them that it's out there. You just gotta go get it. You gotta have confidence and believe in yourself, and go get it, because I'm doing it, so I'm here.
Alfred, this has been a real treat. Thank you very much for joining us here on Small Business Celebration.
Thank you for having me.
For Visioneers who want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Go online to execcopiers.com. They can call us at 661-322-0190. We are on Instagram. We are on LinkedIn. Also, you can email us at info@execcopiers.com.
And if you enjoy a Small Business Celebration, go ahead and like, subscribe, and notify, and leave a comment. We're going to make sure that Alfred knows all the comments that you guys go ahead and post, good, bad, and the ugly, but say something nice nonetheless. And I'll be right back with my final thought. Visioneers, does it seem like that I'm beating the drum when it comes to our smallbusinesscelebration.com/blog? Well, it's because it's a great resource for visioneers just like you to learn about our previous guests, what works, what doesn't, so that you can grow a strong and profitable business. Simply go to smallbusinesscelebration.com/blog today. A taste of what is yet to come. Usually, Visioneer Nation, when I have a final thought, it's because something has happened to me, or something I've seen, or something that I've done that allows me or causes me to be introspective, philosophical, and look for a deeper meaning in what we're doing as business owners that I can share with you to hopefully encourage you and the growth of you and your business. But here we are in April 2024. And we here at Small Business Celebration have passed a significant milestone. We have 1,000 subscribers here to our YouTube channel. Now, yes, there are a lot of other channels that have many more subscribers than we do, and many that do not as well. But this for us is a rather significant milestone, because this show started off strictly as an audio podcast only. And when we made the bridge to YouTube, there was a lot of things we've had to learn, not just from the technical side with cameras and lighting and audio, but how do we formulate the questions? And believe you me, the YouTube audience is very different than the podcast audience. And we have had to learn a lot of things, a lot of nuances along the way. But just here in the month of April 2024, we've got 30,000 views on our channel, 800 watch hours, more than 396 new subscribers to our channel. Brand new Visioneers, probably, who are watching this maybe for the very first time. And welcome! We appreciate you joining on our merry adventure as we grow Small Business Celebration and Visioneer Nation. So I just want to take this moment to go ahead and thank, of course, all the people behind the scenes who are making this happen. Nicole, Emily, of course, my bride Tamla, who none of this would be possible without. I have to also thank our sponsors who have come along with us on this journey, and the sponsors who are helping propel us to the next 1,000 subscribers, the next 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers on this very wonderful journey that I'm really, really excited to continue. And it's just a taste of what is yet to come. I hope you enjoyed our conversation this week with Alfred Valenzuela, the owner of Executive Copier Solutions, and I hope you learned something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. And we'll see you here again next week when we celebrate another small business making a big breakthrough. What did the office employee call the worst copier in the office?
No.
Bob Marley. You know why?
No.
Because it'd be jamming all the time. Horrible, horrible. I know. What are a photocopier's last words before it goes to sleep? Good night, sweet prince.
Google this before you came over?
Well, it's a way to help make the guests relax a little bit. You know, it's okay. Don't worry, the whole day goes like this. It'll be fine. Shall we start?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Welcome, Visioneers, to another fantastic.